It's been a difficult moment for our campus community.
Right now at 6, police are still investigating the shooting of a Trinity student who's Palestinian, a shooting that hit the campus hard even though it happened up in Vermont.
Proposed emission standards to fuel the future of electric vehicles hitting a roadblock. What the governor is expected to do in the face of opposition.
Also, it's Giving Tuesday. We'll tell you what nonprofits in our state are saying about the impact donations have on their missions.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is Giving Tuesday. We'll talk a lot about that throughout the morning, but we're glad you're starting off your day with us. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Yes, good morning. We hope your Tuesday is off to a good start. Let's get over to meteorologist Matt Scott. We've been talking about things getting a little bit colder out there. It was chilly, but it was above freezing. Didn't have any frost.
It's what it should feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Now, the winds are not going to help, and as they pick up later on this afternoon, it's going to take a nice little bite out of those much lower temperatures. It'll feel like the 20s for most of you throughout the day today, so stand by. That is a big drop from yesterday. A few flurries passing through, maybe a snowflake. I'm not worried about that at all. And a late week warm-up is still in the cards. Also have some rain to speak about. If you look at the radar, I got some clouds and just a little bit of flaky action way up in the northwestern hills, Salisbury over to Canaan, Norfolk. That's it. A little more could be holding together. This is all. You see some lake effect, really. There's some bands in there that are keeping the clouds coming, so we'll call it variably cloudy again. In terms of precip, I mean, look, it's going to be December in a few days, so we're at that time. 34 in Hartford, that's not bad. 37 in New Haven, 35 in Groton, 28 in Torrington. So yes, it is much cooler than yesterday at this time, but still fairly seasonal. Next couple mornings are not going to be. 33, mostly sunny for the high schoolers getting on the bus later on. Look at that, only getting to 38. We're going to struggle in the 30s again, feel colder than that when you factor in the breezy northwest winds. We'll talk about that coming up. Rachel Piscatelli, did you notice it was a little chilled this morning when you got into your limo?
To be honest with you, I thought it was quite nice when I stepped out the door. I was expecting frost on my windshield and it wasn't as cold, but the numbers have fallen since I started at 4 a.m. So yeah, definitely a chilly start to the day, feeling like the 20s and teens this morning, maybe starting your car early, but patchy frost not necessarily out there for everybody this morning. Otherwise, we have one road closure to tell you about over in Willington this morning. This is on Route 32. We did talk to state police and they let us know that they're not anticipating this to be closed for too long, but at 6:02 it is between Sheffield Road and Plains Road. So this is in both directions of Route 32 River Road. So just be mindful of that. We'll let you know when that reopens. Otherwise, the road work that we had in East Hartford, that has wrapped up on Route 2. Both directions running smoothly with light volume, and even in Waterbury now, 84 east and westbound. All of that road work has wrapped up for your morning commute. So 18 to 25 looks good. Tim and Erica at a 5-minute drive. Back to you.
Rachel, thank you. Horrific and hateful. The parents of 3 Palestinian college students used those words to describe the shooting that put their children in the hospital over the weekend. And this morning, they are continuing to call for accountability and justice.
One of the victims, a student at Trinity College in Hartford. Yesterday, the man charged in the shooting pleaded not guilty. Fox 61's Angela Bavaro is joining us live at Trinity campus in Hartford with the very latest on this. Angela, good morning.
Erica, Tim, good morning. These victims, all 20 years old and all friends since childhood, are still recovering this morning. Now, the motive behind this shooting, that is still under investigation, but authorities did say this is being investigated as a possible hate crime. Now, the student who attended Trinity College here is Tassin Ahmed. The shooting happened while he and 2 friends, they were out visiting on a walk, visiting one of the victims' relatives in Burlington when they were confronted by a white man with a handgun. Police say the victims were speaking a mix of English and Arabic, and 2 of them were also wearing the traditional keffiyeh Palestinian scarves. Also, according to police, the shooter fired at least 4 rounds without saying a word, and then he ran off. This attack coming as the largest Muslim civil rights organization in the country says anti-Muslim and anti-Palestinian feeling is on the rise.
And so I would say that our community is very afraid that out of nowhere they could be targeted, shot, beaten up.
We've all worn our keffiyehs around campus throughout these past 50 days, and we've all gotten stares. We've all gotten people commenting baby killers and terrorists. So that really could have been us.
The suspect in this shooting, 48-year-old Jason Eaton, was arraigned in a Burlington courtroom yesterday. He pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of second-degree attempted murder. And a vigil is being planned here at Trinity College for tomorrow. We are live in the capital city this morning. I'm Angelo Bafar, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Angela, thanks for the update there. Meantime, 6:05, a state plan to reduce emissions from cars and trucks has hit a speed bump.
And it could be a big one. Yeah, Governor Ned Lamont hitting the brakes on a proposal that would eventually require new cars and trucks to be electric, at least new sales of cars. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is here now with the latest. What happened here, Brooke?
Well, Tim and Erica, the electric vehicles, like the one that you see behind me here, will not be the new standard for the vehicles sold in Connecticut. Today, the legislature's Regulation Review Committee was supposed to vote on these drastic new emissions standards, but now that vote is tabled after significant pushback from leaders on both sides of the aisle. The proposal included phasing out all new sales of internal combustion vehicles, also just known as gas-powered cars, by 2035. These proposed regulations stem from a 2004 law that ties Connecticut over to California's emission standards. The West Coast state already has these rules in motion. The proposal has been bashed for months by state leaders and industry experts who have several questions about this mandate. They say the power grid cannot handle that level of need. There are not enough charging stations, and most families just cannot afford to buy an electric vehicle. There are people both for and against the plan, some addressing the imminent issue of climate change, while others say the state just is not ready for something like this.
We cannot meet our goals to do our part to reduce emissions and slow the pace of climate change if we do not reduce emissions from the transportation sector.
We don't have a grid that can support it, and fiscally this number is already going through the roof. It's only getting higher. The infrastructure needs to be upgraded now.
And again, that vote was scheduled to happen today, but now Governor Lamont has scheduled a news conference instead. That's this afternoon, and it's going to be with other lawmakers and energy officials. Now, here he is expected to address the delay in that vote. Tim?
Okay, well, thank you, Brooke. We appreciate it. Polls have opened this morning in Vernon for a tiebreaker election to fill the final seat on the town council. It's a race between Democrat William Dauphin and Republican Bill Campbell. Vernon town officials said if you're eligible to vote, just go to your regular polling place like you did before. The polls will be open until 8 o'clock tonight.
Well, today is Giving Tuesday, which means it is to encourage people to give back for the greater good. The tradition started 11 years ago. It's been growing ever since. Nonprofits here in Connecticut say this day helps them make a big difference in their mission to help people in need. Among them, the Chrysalis Center in Hartford, which offers services like job training, health care, and housing to people in need.
We've seen the food shortage and the increase of prices over the years. It's not stopping. So it's been even more important to be able to raise funds for individuals who come into our care.
And this day is a day that our supporters really show their creativity and generosity.
Now we have a link to a list of several organizations that you can donate to over on our website. Just head over to fox61.com. A memorial service is expected today in Atlanta to honor former First Lady Rosalynn Carter.
Yeah, the former president himself, Jimmy Carter, of course, expected to be there, along with current President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. Well, yesterday marked the beginning of a 3-day celebration of her life. It started with a motorcade that carried her casket through her hometown of Plains, Georgia, before a wreath-laying ceremony at her alma mater, Georgia Southwestern State University. She's now lying in repose at the Carter Presidential Library and Museum in Atlanta. Well, hundreds of people gathered yesterday to say their final goodbyes, and a lot of them remembered her for her advocacy for mental health and for equal opportunities for women.
I think she was a role model for women for the past and for the future, and I wanted to just come here today to honor her.
I think what will always remain in my heart is her commitment to helping others and her compassion for the most vulnerable.
Well, Mrs. Carter will be buried after a private funeral tomorrow. For continuing coverage of the services for Mrs. Carter, you can visit fox61.com and download the Fox 61 app. And we will have coverage of the memorial service today in Atlanta on Fox 61 Plus.
A man accused of killing his girlfriend in Ansonia is expected in court for a pretrial hearing. Jose Morales is charged with the murder of Christine Holloway. He has pleaded not guilty. Their one-year-old daughter, Vanessa, has been missing since the alleged killing back in December of 2019. Now, according to court documents, Morales is accused of changing his story numerous times about where he was and what he was doing the days leading up to the discovery of Holloway's body. Attorneys for Alex Jones rejecting an offer from the Sandy Hook families to settle the debt that he owes them at a fraction of the amount. The families were awarded nearly $1.5 billion in legal judgments against Jones for repeatedly calling the 2012 tragedy a hoax. They offered Jones to pay $85 million over 10 years, plus 50% of any income over $9 million a year. Well, Jones' bankruptcy lawyer says that settlement offer is too high.